Hello friends, and welcome to Pediatric Flow. I'm Jolene, a doctor-prepared, dual board certified pediatric nurse practitioner, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today we're going to talk about planting seeds and what that means and how we can go about it for our lives. Because sometimes I know that life can be discouraging, and it can also be very joyful. And sometimes you're working hard, giving your best, and doing all the right things, and yet it feels like nothing is happening. If that's where you are today, then this episode is for you. Let's talk about the hidden work behind what we do. When you plant a seed, you don't expect flowers the next day. Farmers know this well. Anyone who's into plants and green things and all things green thumb understand that. You have to trust the process. You have to trust that with patience, time, love, and care, that the seed will grow into something wonderful and beautiful. For a while, it appears as though nothing is happening at all. If you look at a seed and you plant it. But beneath the surface, roots are developing. And that's where strength is developing for the plant. And the foundation is being built. Many people think about trying to build things and make things happen, and they want to see the final product, but they a lot of times don't want to put the work in, don't want to put the effort in, or don't recognize how much work and effort is actually required to get the final result. So what I want to tell you today, for those of you that are planting seeds and you're waiting on your final result, your final outcome, I don't want you to confuse waiting with failure, because waiting is not the same thing as failing. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it never will. And sometimes we interpret delay as denial, but often growth, wisdom, and preparation simply take time. And for many of us, you may go through battle after battle before you get to that final result that you're expecting or hoping for. But here's the thing, failure is part of the process. You try and you might fail, and you try and you might fail, and you try again. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, and that's how we improve and move to the next level. I will tell you, winning and reaching the mountaintop and reaching the final expectation that you're looking for can never be achieved without multiple failures to get us there. Just like people trying to create products or cures for diseases and everything that we look for in this world. If it was that easy, we would have the cure for cancer, the cure for so many diseases that we don't have yet. It's not because it's easy or not because people aren't trying, because they are. We have amazing scientists and amazing people that are looking for cures for multiple disorders and multiple diseases. But they have to try trial and error over and over until they get to the final result. I want you to think about looking back and where you were before you started your journey, if you're on a process or a journey for weight loss or looking for something exciting or planting a flower or whatever that might be for you, and wherever you are in your journey. There were moments when I look back myself when I wondered if all the efforts were worth it. Even now, sometimes I have to stop and think about this, because sometimes it's really, really hard. But then I think about, yes, it truly is. The effort and the time is truly worth it. I see the seeds that were planted long before the outcome. I see the conversations, the lessons, the opportunities, the risk, the late nights, the failures, and yes, the victories. Growth was happening all along those times and throughout that journey, even though it was hard, even though it was difficult, and many times I felt like, what in the world am I doing? How am I going to get to where I want to be? Is this truly possible? But that's the thing about planting seeds and reaching a goal or looking towards your dreams for the future. It happens one small step at a time, one small seed at a time. That's how growth happens. And you'll look back eventually later on and you'll realize that all the things that you hoped for, that all the things that you prepared for, that all the things that you prayed for or wanted to happen, you're suddenly surrounded by where you always prayed and wanted to be. So here's the thing. Just keep showing up. When you feel inspired, keep showing up. That seems easy, right? Keep showing up when you're tired. That is leadership. And showing up when you're discouraged, that takes courage. And showing up when nobody is watching, that takes character. But that's the important part, is the consistency day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, and you continue to show up time and time and time again. Even when you feel discouraged, even when you're not sure whether it's going to work, even when you're not absolutely sure about the outcome, to continue to show up, continue to be consistent, continue to carry forward your dreams, your beliefs, your goals, that you're going to make it to the mountaintop. Because one day you will. Maybe your seeds look like education. Maybe they look like healing or rebuilding after a loss, starting a business, writing a book, or recording a podcast, training for a race, weight loss, caring for your family, or taking care of your health. Whatever those seeds are, they matter. They matter so much. So for the person who's listening today and who might be struggling, I want you to know that you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not wasting your effort. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself and in others and in the goodness that there is in this world. And keep planting those seeds of faith, those seeds of joy, those seeds of expectation. Keep moving forward. There will be seasons when you cannot see the harvest. I've been there many, many times. There will be seasons when growth feels extremely, extremely slow. But do not underestimate the power of planting seeds consistently. A single seed may not seem like much, but enough seeds planted over time can transform an entire garden. So I want you to think about it. There's this massive field, and you go out and you plant one seed. Now suppose that it develops and it grows into this beautiful flower, but it's one seed. But then I want you to go back and you realize you learned how to make that grow. You took the time and effort to make it thrive and continue to believe in it even when you couldn't see what was happening underneath the ground. So imagine going to that same field and planting multiple seeds over and over, day after day, and you go back and you water it and you fertilize it and you continue to watch it day after day after day until the whole field changes into something spectacular. All the seeds begin to grow and all of the whole field begins to change into a beautiful field of flowers. And that's how life is. That's how it works. When you're working toward a goal, you're working toward a process, you're working towards something that you have dreamed about your whole entire life, and you keep pressing forward. You keep showing up for practice. You keep showing up to the gym to lose weight and build muscle and make your health better. You keep running the race time after time after again and again. And even though your time may be slow at first, you continue to go and you continue to run and you continue to do those things. You continue to learn, you continue to study, you continue to read books, you continue to do all the things that you want to do, whatever your goal is. So today, I encourage you, continue to plant seeds. Continue to make a change for yourself and for others. So wherever you are right now on your journey, if you're not standing in the finished garden, but no longer standing on bare ground either, I want you to keep planting, keep believing, and keep showing up, because your future is built one seed at a time. So thank you for joining me for another episode of Pediatric Flow with Jolene. And if you haven't subscribed and liked my channel, I hope you will do so now. And remember that the world needs your compassion, your courage, and your light. And as always, until next time, keep shining.